times 3.
We try to get them to do what we do.
Okay, so people are putting up $8,000 deposits, right? We'll say throw out the $8,000. They're going a 17-day loan contingency. Everyone write this down. 17-day appraisal contingency. 17-day inspection contingency. Okay. They're asking for. Do you guys ask for pest reports here? Dumbest, sorry. Worst thing you can do ever is ask for a pest report. I would wipe the clock with you. You're a seller, you're selling your house. 7 buyers ask for pest reports. I don't ask for one. 7 people ask for a clear section 1. Do you ask for a clear section 1? Do people do it?
Sure.
You guys are afraid to answer the question. I mean, you can say I'm dumb. Okay? People ask for a pest report and they ask for a section 1, right? 7 ask for it, and then the seller goes to his agent who forgot to order the pest report. Going, well, what's it going to cost to give me one of them clear section 1s, Johnny? Betty? And they go, well, I don't know. Could be like $300-400. Could be like $3,000 or $4,000. Then that one guy, he didn't even ask for one. Yeah, he didn't even ask for one. Let's go with him. I mean, I just aced all of you right there because everyone's asking for a pest report. That's an R. And then they're even asking for a section 1. Is there any section 1? I don't know, but the seller doesn't know. But they gotta go. Could it be worse than $3,000 or $4,000? Well, I've seen houses where they're $20,000. Termites, powder beetles. Now the seller's got 5 buyers who are asking for a $20,000 repair. And he's got me. Well, Brent, what do you do if there's termites or powder beetles? We cancel the sale. I guess what the seller does. Every time they take care of the problem. Because the listing just says, hey, most buyers are going to do what? Ask for a pest report. Most buyers are not going to want to buy a home with termites. We're going to have to do this for the next buyer. We might as well do it for this buyer. I don't negotiate what I don't know. You guys are all negotiating what you don't know. I leave it off. I'm going to discover that in my due diligence. I order my own dumb pest report for $90. I tell the buyer, we're going to order it ourselves, and we're going to clean the table with everyone else because they're just, and I'm not picking on you, but I did these things too for years. I do 30-day escrow, small earnest money, 17, 17, 17, pest report, section 1. Oh, and I want the right to ask for repairs. I'm going to do a home inspection. You ever get the home inspection report and you ask for repairs? Okay, and then they send you a pre-qual letter, right, with the offer. And if you're lucky, you like that? If you're lucky, you get a pre-approval letter, right? Is this kind of a normal offer? Okay, now here's what I do and what I recommend you do. Close the thing in 9 days, start to finish. There's a lot of competition, 7. Risha can do it. She can do FHA, which I've had lenders tell me cannot be done. She's done it. She did one in like 5 days. Okay? So forget it. You've all got a lender who can do it fast. Conventional, FHA, done. I don't know how quick which is VA. You have to ask her about VA. I won't work with the VA buyer personally. I love vets. Let somebody else help the vet. I just found it's hard to get, at least in Sacramento, it's hard to get sellers to want to take a VA to deal with all that stuff. Okay? So I'm just not willing to do it. There's plenty of people, that's all they do is deal with vets. I refer them out. I love vets, don't get me wrong. But I also love my kids that I like to pay them, like to buy groceries. Okay, now. So 9 days. Earnest money deposit. Let's say it's $400,000 purchase and they're putting 3.5% down. Yes.
Okay, we can write 9 days. How do we convince the listing agent that we're not going to ask extension?
Never a problem. They're just thrilled.
How do you prove
I'm
to
passionate.
them?
I says, we are so far down the approval process. My clients met with the lender. We can draw docs in the next 4 or 5 days. And then here's what I was going to tell you. Right here, pre-qual, pre-approval letter. Of course, we send a pre-approval letter. But then I always, and to demonstrate my point, anybody ever here ever have a listing? Raise your hand if you ever had a listing. How many of them, when you get your offers, does the buyer's agent take the time to have their lender personally call you and say, here's why my client Jonathan deserves this house. He works as a doctor, his wife runs the hospital, boom, boom, boom. How many lenders actually call those listing agents? Does it happen down here a lot?
Yeah, well, if it's Risha.
I do that.
Okay, Risha, but does it
No.
normally happen down here?
No.
It never happens in Sacramento. I've had 100 people. They're just lucky to get a pre-approval letter, and they never hear from the lender. Your lenders should call every single time with the buyer, because it shocks the listing agent. Look, I got 17 offers, but only one guy, Hans, had his agent, Risha, call me, and Risha explained to me, I didn't know this, but his client has a 782 FICO, the wife has an 823, she's an RN for Kaiser, he works for the school district as a teacher, they've been 18 years on the job, they're going to put 25% cash down, and Risa said she can draw docs in the next 72 hours, and I liked her. In fact, I think I'm going to start using her as a lender. I was very impressed. Mr. and Mrs. Seller, I recommend we go with Hans. And you just smoked 17 people on one little thing. I'm telling you, I love multiple offers. I don't fear them. And you think, well, what if there's no offers? Write a strong offer, because you ever written an offer that had another offer come, and then you lose? Your terms have got to be tight. So over here, pre-approval plus your lender or Risha call. I say in 5 minutes I'm going to have Risha give you a call. And I keep my lenders close. My guy's Jeff Compton, okay, up in Sacramento. I've even used Risha for a few deals that I needed extra fast. Now, she's actually faster than my lender by a few days, so if I need it. But 400,000, 3.5% down is how much deposit? How much? 14 grand, right? Is it about 14 grand? 14 grand. Is it not a $14,000 deposit?
Yes, it is.
So I would put up the whole thing, 14,000. They put up 8. They'll have to bring 6 in, right? To put 3.5% down. Do they? Why don't you just put it all up? Well, we don't want to risk it. You're not risking it. You'll never be non-contingent. Put up 20. Put up a big chunk of money, because this person I point out to him, I go, what's the biggest earnest money deposit? They go, we got one for 10 grand. I go, really? We're going to put up 20. We have 20,000 reasons to close this escrow. Now, they don't really add it up or realize that we're never going to not remove our contingencies. Okay? But, so, I'm way faster. I'm way more money. Now this, no loan contingency. What if they can't get a loan? I don't work with buyers who can't get loans. I work with lenders who look at them. They look at the credit report, they look at stuff, go, yep, Hans can do this, I'll guarantee it. Reaches that. Now sometimes things are sketchy, like I can't promise you. And if it's like that, then maybe you want to leave the loan contingency in place. Okay, I get that. But usually, 8 out of 10 times, like, hey, they're good to go. They are golden. They can buy anything. They're willing to go to 500,000. They can go to a 9, no problem. They're well qualified. So no loan contingency, no appraisal contingency. Now, what do you do if you're worried about the home appraising? Leave it in there. Leave the appraisal contingency in there if you've got one you really pushing the boundaries on. And then the 17-day inspection contingency, everyone leaves that in there. Drop it down to 7 days. Well, I don't know if my home inspector can do it in the next 7 days. Get 3 or 4 good home inspectors you like. Somebody can do it. You can get them done very quickly. And I don't like to do them the next day or 2 or 3 days. I like to let the home settle in. I like to maybe do it on the 5th or the 6th day. Because I tell my client, here's what happens. You'll look at that home inspection report. You're either going to want the home or you're not. It's either going to scare you and I don't want it, or like, hey, we can deal with these things, okay? So we do a 7-day inspection. Pest report, we don't even mention it. We don't ask for the pest report. I do point out to this agent. We don't ask for the section 1. And we buy it, and I write it big, as is, across the sheet. What do most people get when they ask for home repairs? What are some typical things people ask for? Go ahead and give them to me. Go ahead. No, repairs. When they ask for repairs, after the home inspection, what are some things they ask for? No, not termites. You're thinking pests. I'm talking about doing a home inspection. The home inspector says there are 5 broken fence posts along that fence.
Right, okay.
Over here, I've tested this light. It doesn't work. I put a bulb in the rear porch light. Does not work. The plug here has got reverse polarity. Over here, the sink, the burner on the stove. It's a nice stove. It's not working. I'm not sure what's wrong with the right rear burner. It's not working. There's a crack in the microwave. The handle's got a crack in it. I found 2 chip tiles. I'm concerned about the dishwasher. I think I don't know how much longer that life's got. And the heater, the water heater's dead. Right? Do you guys ever hear that stuff?
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. So what do your buyers got? I want a new oven. I want a new water heater. And they put down their stuff. And really what they're getting is a bunch of BS handyman stuff. This stuff says, you're not getting a new oven. We'll have Sears come fix the burner. We will replace the water heater for $450. We'll fix the fence posts. We're not gonna replace the 2 cracked tiles. It's like that when we bought the house 15 years ago. You could deal with the 2 cracked tiles. And the little crack in the microwave oven, you hardly notice it, no. And then they come back to your buyer, do you want it? And the buyer goes, okay, I'll take it. What did they really get? $800–900 worth of stuff. So, at my client, we don't get that. We have this. But guess what? When a seller gets a buyer who's willing to take it as is, I've had them drop the price another 25 to 50 grand. They're not going to hassle me. Okay, go to $775. I just got 20. Do you want handyman repairs up to $1,200 or 25 to 50,000 off? What do you want? Do you want the house? I gotta have this house. Oh, every offer I write has big, bold as is. You're the seller. You got 5, 10, 15, 20 offers like this. And then here come these guys, 9-day close, huge earnest money deposit, no loan contingency, no appraisal contingency, 7-day due diligence. They're not asking for a pest report and they point it out. They're not asking for a section 1 and they point it out. They're buying it as is. They're pre-approved and Risha called and said, I can get loan docs out in 72 hours. And you're outgunned by some of these offers over here. See, here's how agents compete. They compete by this. It's the only way they know how to compete. Because they all write offers like this, usually, right? And then here's how they compete. And they've been taught to do this lately by the banks. Ready? What's that, Sam? What does that mean? Throw money at us! Come on! I love this game. And then you go to your client. Have you ever heard agents say that? Well, what are you willing to pay? I mean, there's 25 offers. What is your, it's highest about me, what is your absolute maximum you pay for the house? And they go, well, heck, I guess we pay $690. It's listed for $6. I'll go 90 over. They've already lost 2 or 3 other times. Well, it turns out their second highest offer was $650. But because it was highest and best, and they didn't know that, they went $690. They just overpaid by how much money? 40K. Now me, when the home's at 6, I come in at 520. I go the other way. When everyone's going up, I go down. And I say, Jonathan, I know we're getting spanked on this thing. I know we're getting crushed. I know you get offers way more. But look at my terms, dude. And I close it in 9 days. It's $680,000, whatever it is. I'm going to put $18,000 in your account in 9 days. Risha, my lender's going to call you. She'll walk some water. You will want to use her after you deal with her in this transaction. The only problem is, boom, 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 is the price. My price is low. How low? Really low. How low? Super low. And I go, but my buyer told me, just give me a counter. They come back and says, well, our best is $650. Would you go $650? I go, yeah. I just saved $40,000. What if my client won't go $650? Will you go $650? No, I won't. Then the next thing out of your mouth is go, what would you go? And I'm thinking they're going to go, we offered $520. They're going to say $550. And they shock me and they go $640. So I go, Jonathan, they wouldn't do $650, but they'll do $640. And then the seller goes, well, what do you think we do? We got this VA buyer. We didn't know it was a VA buyer, did we? They didn't tell us, did they? And he's contingent upon the sale of his home in Idaho. So, you know, we don't know those things. I've had lousy, rotten offers that were here. Go, you got to beat that, and they did. They didn't know we didn't want that offer. So look, this guy, I didn't like him. I don't trust him. You ever had a real estate agent? You don't feel comfortable with the deal? I go, this guy's 10 grand less, but look at these terms. I recommend we go with the 640. I've had him come back and drop 10, 20, 30,000 off the price because I didn't know we were dealing with someone who was. Maybe he was a really great buyer, a doctor and his wife, but they're contingent upon their home of the sale of their home in Spokane, Washington. And what do we know about that market? Is it going to take 6 months to sell? Is it going to take a month? Let's just go with the, I've had them go with us at $775 when they had an offer for $8 that was contingent. But highest and best, you just huck money at the, do you guys get this? And your clients will love you. You say all the other agents at you are going to blindfold you and tell you highest and best because that's what they're bringing. They have no strategy to compete with it. I said, Jonathan, please, dude, I'm begging you. You beg, I beg. Okay, you got to give it to me, dude. I saw you drive in. I saw your Mercedes. I will detail your Mercedes, man. I want this thing. I mean, not the $29.99 Gold Rush detail. I mean the $300 they polish the leather. They take toothbrush to your chrome engine valves. And they always go, you don't need to do that. I go, Jonathan, seriously, I get this deal. You couldn't stop me from doing that. I give you the deal. I had detailed more cars, and then guess what? I did one like that, and the guys, I called the guy up on it about 2 months later for another deal, another like $16,000 commission. She goes, no, Ron's out of the office, but what do you need to know, Brent? And because she knew I detailed Ron's nice Mercedes, and she'd just gotten a brand new Toyota 4Runner used that was kind of needed, kind of cruddy. And she goes, well, on this, she says, well, would you be willing to detail my Toyota? And I said, honey, absolutely. She gave me the inside. She filleted 8 agents, told me about every offer. I go, what would it take to win? She goes, you do this, this, and this, you'll win. We did this, 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 and we won, and I detailed her Toyota. That's not fair. What's not fair about it? What was illegal? There's nothing illegal about detailing a secretary's car. There's nothing illegal about detailing. In fact, it's a nice thing to do. When people say thank you, here's a $100 gift card to a nice restaurant, is that a nice thing to do?
Yep.
I only do it if I get the deal. If I get this thing and we close, you couldn't stop me. And if you get an $18,000 check, would you detail someone's car?
Yeah.
But guess what? When's the last time someone detailed your car? Never happened, has it? And guess what? If they did, would you ever forget them? No. They don't forget me. I have the red carpet treatment all over town. I know hundreds of agents, but I do it. You with me?
Yeah.
You better compete. You better not just start doing all this stuff. I tell them all the agents you talk to are going to tell you throw money. And I'm going to tell you, we're going to do this, we're going to go low when they're all going high. But they're going to come back they're going to take 50 offers and put them over here. Does it happen every time? No. Sometimes we get beat by all cash or whatever. But I'm telling you, 80% of the time, we win, we win, we win. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yes.
When you're saying, you do, the inspection time you give is 7 days, you'll bring it down to 7 days. What inspections do you do?
Home inspection.
Just home
And
inspection?
a pest inspection, because we didn't ask for a pest report. And now the home inspector, the home might be a 2007, stucco, tile, gorgeous.
Right.
The home inspector said, there ain't an ounce of dry rot on this house, and I didn't see any termites. And guess what? All the pest people are